Lawyers for Sam Bankman-Fried are negotiating with federal prosecutors in New York on a bail arrangement that would enable him to avoid detention, people familiar with the matter told CNN. FTX crypto exchange founder Bankman-Fried, who oversaw his now bankrupt crypto empire from a luxury compound in the Bahamas, is expected to return as early as Wednesday to the United States. In a hearing Wednesday morning, his lawyer in the Bahamas told the court that Bankman-Fried had agreed to extradition to the U.S., where federal prosecutors have charged him with orchestrating one of the biggest financial frauds in American history. Once the 30-year-old is stateside, Bankman-Fried will appear before a judge in Manhattan for a bail hearing. The timing of that hearing will depend on when he arrives in New York and is processed. In the week and a half since his arrest in the Bahamas, Bankman-Fried has been held in a prison that U.S. officials have described overcrowded, dirty and lacking medical care. Its crowded cells often lack mattresses and are infested with rats, maggots, and insects. Prosecutors and attorneys for Bankman-Fried are discussing an arrangement for his release, with conditions that would enable the failed crypto entrepreneur to avoid spending time at the Metropolitan Detention Center. The MDC is a pretrial holding facility that former inmates and rights advocates have described as inhumane, citing frequent lockdowns, overcrowding and power outages that have left it without heat in the middle of winter. Federal prosecutors last week charged Bankman-Fried with defrauding investors and customers of FTX, which he founded in 2019. If convicted on all 8 charges of fraud and conspiracy, he could face life in prison. FTX and its sister trading house, Alameda, both filed for bankruptcy last month after investors rushed to pull their deposits from the exchange, sparking a liquidity crisis. In the weeks since their bankruptcy, FTX's new CEO has stated publicly that customer funds deposited on the FTX site were commingled with funds at Alameda, which made a number of speculative, high-risk bets. The CEO, John Ray III, described the situation at the two companies as old-fashioned embezzlement at the hands of a small group of grossly inexperienced and unsophisticated individuals.
Europe's Vega rocket crashes back to Earth. Europe's premier small rocket has failed in flight once again. The Vega vehicle was lost 2.5 minutes into its latest mission from the Kourou spaceport in French Guiana. It was carrying 2 French-built, high-resolution Earth imaging spacecraft. This is the 3rd Vega failure in 8 outings and puts further pressure on the European satellite sector, which no longer has use of Russian rockets and will soon witness the retirement of the heavy-lift Ariane 5 launcher. The follow-on replacement, Ariane 6, is a year at least from entering service. It was the new variant of Vega, known as Vega C, that failed. This rocket has 4 stages in total, most of which burn a solid fuel. It lifted away from Kourou at 22:47 local time on Tuesday. The motor on the first stage, called P120C, appeared to perform without issue. The anomaly occurred in the rocket's second stage, the Zefiro 40. An immediate analysis pointed to a drop in pressure in the combustion chamber of the segment. Real-time flight tracking showed the rocket unable to maintain its planned trajectory, and a command was sent to Vega to self-destruct. The vehicle and its Pleiades Neo-Earth observation satellites crashed down into the Atlantic. The launcher came down in the International Maritime Zone, safely, said Pierre-Yves Tissier, the chief technical officer of Arianespace, the company that runs the Kourou spaceport. He confirmed that all the data from the flight was secure. "Let me say the failure seems limited to the Zefiro 40, he added. Stefan Israel, the CEO of Arianespace, apologized to the satellite owners, the aerospace company Airbus Defence and Space. The 2 lost satellites would have been among the most powerful European optical imagers in space, able to resolve details on the ground as small as 30 centimeters across. Airbus had previously lofted 4 Pleiades NEO satellites. The units 5 and 6 would have completed the planned constellation. And commission is being set up to investigate what happened. It is to be chaired by Arianespace and the European Space Agency. Only after the inquiry's findings are delivered and any remedies taken can Vega be expected to return to flight. For the previous failure, in November 2020, this was a gap of 5 months. ESA's head of flight programs, Stefano Bianchi, said the agency and its partners would do whatever was necessary to get Vega flying again safely and reliably. "We were hit hard on this night, very heavily, and we shall react because Europe needs a Vega launcher which works each time," he told reporters. Attention, obviously, will focus the production of the rocket, which is led by Italian prime contractor Avio. Its CEO, Giulio Ronzo, said the company took full charge of the responsibility for this Vega C failure, adding that his organization would support the Independent Inquiry Commission with any information they may request, and then subsequently to follow rigorously the recommendations that they will come up with to improve in a radical manner the flightworthiness of this new launch vehicle, Vega C. Satellite operators in Europe were already chasing a limited number of rocket rides, and this failure complicates the situation still further. The Ariane 5, Europe's biggest rocket, has only 2 more flights in early 2023, before it is withdrawn. The Ariane 6 follow-on, however, is not yet ready to fly. Its maiden mission is scheduled for the end of 2023. It will be some comfort that Vega's P120C first stage worked perfectly, as this is also to be used as a strap-on booster for the Ariane 6. Neither Ariane 5 nor Ariane 6 are impacted by what has unfortunately happened tonight, confirmed Mr. Israel. The shortage of rides recently prompted the European Space Agency to purchase 2 American launches. Its Euclid telescope and Hera asteroid missions will go up on SpaceX Falcon 9 vehicles in 2023 and 2024 respectively.
Bomb cyclone. Powerful winter storm may disrupt holiday travel. A powerful Arctic winter storm will make its way through the US and Canada this week, bringing with it crippling snow and freezing temperatures. The once-in-a-generation storm began in the Pacific Northwest on Tuesday, and has made its way east through the Rockies as of Wednesday morning. It is then expected to hit the Great Lakes later this week, and will become a bomb cyclone by early Friday. The storm has already disrupted travel for many ahead of the holidays. Big U.S. airlines like United, American, Delta and Southwest have issued fee waivers to travelers who wish to reschedule their flights in anticipation of the big storm. More than 70 million people from Washington state to Maryland are under a winter weather alert. In Vancouver and Seattle, flights were cancelled on Tuesday as the storm began to hit the region. As it moves east, the storm is anticipated to dump heavy snow into major Midwestern airports in Detroit and Chicago by Thursday. It is also expected to cause widespread power outages in the area. The National Weather Service in Brooklyn, New York has called it a once-in-a-generation winter weather event, especially as the storm reaches the Great Lakes region, where its pressure is expected to reach the equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane. Chicago's National Weather Service branch has warned of a significant threat to life for anyone stranded in the storm, as the wind speed is expected to be greater than 55 miles per hour. As the storm develops, meteorologists anticipate it will turn into a bomb cyclone, because it will intensify at a rapid rate. The storm will also bring life-threatening frigid temperatures that are 40 degrees Fahrenheit below average. Every state in the continental U.S. could see temperatures below 20 F on Christmas Eve, the National Weather Service said. Bomb cyclone is a term given by meteorologists to a storm that appears to intensify rapidly, with its central air pressure dropping to at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. They are referred to as bomb cyclones due to the explosive power of these storms caused by the rapid fall in pressure. The storm brings with it an array of weather, ranging from blizzards to severe thunderstorms to heavy precipitation. These types of storms are most common on the east coast of the US and Canada, where the cool land and warm Gulf Stream current provide optimal conditions for a bomb cyclone to develop.